So I just watched Reese Waters. He's super funny on YouTube. In one of the episodes, he entitled "Who Raised Y'all?", where he showcases those who go above and beyond to make our society worse. And he had the town hall of Representative Victoria Sparks in Indiana. Holy cow. She is, I mean, if I were a right wing, I would probably call her transgender. But I know that's not. Stop sniffing for bunnies. Come on, let's go. No bunnies today. Let's go. I mean, not any other day, but no, not today either. Anyway, she is a brutish Slavic woman who's got some skeletons in her closet, which may be why she is attacking due process the way she is. She, exclaimed that criminals do not deserve due process. Well, she has some gun charges that go back to Dole's Airport. Maybe that's why she doesn't want due process. But other than that, I watched the whole town hall. Stop it, Sadie. Let's go. She stopped letting people in the room before it was even full. And I think, no, Sadie. I said no bunnies. Knock it off. You better knock it off with your bunny fever today. Come on. People asked her very reasonable questions, like, please explain Doge. And her answer was, well, there's a bunch of really talented young entrepreneurs they don't get paid. They do this as a favor to our country. They do this as a favor to us Americans. Is what she said. And then she was asked about, a woman stood up and asked her, well, considering the Signalgate fiasco, will you immediately demand the resignations of Pete Hegseth, Mike Walls, all of them? And she replied that she wouldn't, and that what's the big deal? What's the big deal? I mean, Hillary Clinton and her emails. Really? She actually brought that up. So nobody's getting through to this one, okay? She is unstable. A lot of these people in this administration are psychologically unstable or are addicts that are not in recovery, that are in the throes of their addictions, like Pete Hegseth and his alcohol, and Elon Musk and his ketamine addiction. How many other addicts do we have in office besides Trump himself, who's long reports of using drugs? I mean, they go way back. There's a man that worked with him on The Apprentice who's actually done an interview. They did an interview with Midas Touch, like 6 months before the election, who talked about him actually filling his diaper on set when he's sitting there telling people you're fired, and how gross it was, and how people used to compete to not be the one that had to deal with him in those moments, because he was the biggest drama queen there ever was. And he would be, when you go back and forth with things like Adderall and other, Provigil and other uppers, eventually you have to use downers to come down. I mean, we've all seen the videos of Don Jr. Remember when he was watching the SpaceX launch, and him actually reaching in his pocket and then coming up and rubbing his teeth with his finger. We all know what cocaine users do. Most of us tried coke at least once. So, we're being run by a bunch of drug addicts and psychopaths. I mean, Victoria Sparks is just one prime example of a pathology, of the mental health sort that's, I mean, what a whack job. Well, at any rate, she was getting just ripped to shreds in this town hall. And somebody remarked, why do they keep doing town halls? And of course, it was terrible. And then a guy asked a question, and then another guy stood up and said, fuck this, let's leave. Walk out. So a bunch of people got up and walked out. And she was saying, no, don't go, please. We need to have discourse. Discourse, really? Fucking hypocrites. It's like, I mean, they will lie and then a second later contradict themselves. It's just incredible to watch. It's so entertaining and yet so dangerous. And this freight train is coming, y'all. It's bearing down on us. I mean, we still, a lot of us haven't felt consequences. If we haven't been fired from our federal jobs, we haven't felt the consequences yet. Hold on a second. I had to say hi to the barking dog. She stops barking when I say hi. She's a good girl. She's just doing her job. So, yeah, I just need to know. I just need to know sometimes how people are coping. I want to know how you are out there. I want to know if you've been affected yet. I want to know if you've been affected. I mean, I've been affected. They cut my food stamps, which used to be $200 that I could count on every month. And it really helped a lot for somebody who, survives on very little money. And, I'm one of those people that's in a terrible position with working. If I work, I can only work so much. If I work a little bit over that, I lose my health insurance entirely. And as somebody who just, went through breast cancer, and I'm awaiting a back surgery, I have a neck problem. It's all I can do to try to stay active by walking my dog. And even I have really bad days with that too, which is why I take her to Sniff Spot a lot. When I can't walk, I have to take her to Sniff Spot, which also costs money. I have a good friend she's become like a mom to me. My own mother sent me to a mental institution when I was 11 for being a lesbian, and she still won't talk to me. I don't even know if she's dead or alive, to be honest. And yes, it bothers me, but what can I fucking do about it? I'm sure she's on the Trump train along with the rest of my family in Michigan. So, we just kind of have to move along, I guess. But I'd like to know. There's several of you that I have gotten to know a little bit in my comments and that I think are wonderful people. And I think about you, and I hope that you're okay today. And I have to take my dog to the vet because she has a weepy eye, and I don't know what it is. It's never happened before, and I'm starting to worry about it. So she's going to the vet at noon, maybe getting some ointment, maybe getting definitive diagnosis that everything costs money, right? And for an ex-con that's got injuries and illnesses that I guess keeps me, it's definitely not my brain or my thinking ability that keeps me from prospering. I just didn't have rich parents. That's really what it comes down to. If you don't start with at least a couple million bucks that you inherit from somebody, you just, you're faced with a long time of struggle since they've just chiseled out the middle workforce. You're either rich or you're almost poor. So, guys, have a nice day. Thanks for joining me on my dog walk today. I hope I didn't ramble too much.